Hey guys, I want to talk about an interesting subject today. I want to talk about how you're tricked into slavery. How basically the whole system works together to get you into slavery. And later on, then mentally they get you into slavery. So um, they do these tricky things that you don't realize that just seems normal to you in everyday life, like it's supposed to be the way it is. But it's all set up by design. So the first thing is it starts before you're ever born. Your parents enter into a contract with the judge, and it's a three-party instrument. Now that three-party instrument is saying that your parents married the judge. So there's three people involved in that contract. So I mean, think about this. The second thing is you get a birth certificate, and they twist your parents' arm and make it a great thing that they sign the birth certificate, and they create a birth certificate, and then they kill you on the birth certificate when they put the footprints on it. Now these footprints really is evidence that they own you. So there's a difference in the DNA when it comes to you and your mom have the DNA of the afterbirth has the DNA of you and your mom, and then you have the DNA of your dad and your mom. So they cut your dad completely out of the scene. Now they're categorizing you in the Smithsonian, and they have your DNA. Every single baby in the country has their DNA at the Smithsonian, and they're categorizing you as an animal, and basically they're putting you into slavery. They start telling you things in school, and they present things like it's God, flag, and country, but all the while behind the scenes they're really administrating you. And they administrated your parents, and they're administrating you, and they're going to get you to go along with it so they can administrate your children. And they're going to have different itineraries in school that will cause you not to be that educated. They'll give you the information that they want you to have. They will tell you certain stories, and those stories that they've done, they've made up. And it's a little bit left of the truth. Everything in the whole system is a little bit left of the truth. And everything from that flag that you see the military holding up in those very famous pictures where a big pile of military guys is holding up the flag, if you all recall that wasn't even the group of men that conquered that area. Just some guys that showed up later, another branch of the military. I mean, everything they do is fraud. And then you get a Social Security card. You basically are locked into slavery when you have that birth certificate, that Social Security card, and your parents were married. So as time goes on, you agree and consent into everything because everybody else is doing it before you get there. When you go to a job, what happens? They want you to fill out their documents from the government that say you have to pay taxes. Well, if it was mandatory, wouldn't they fill those documents out ahead of time for you? I mean, think about that. You're thinking on the left side of your brain, and that's where you've been programmed, is on the left side of your brain. If you have an imagination, if you have an opinion, if you have structure, if you have the right come from, it's coming from the right side of your brain, not the left side. The left side is absorbing everything, So if you're thinking left side of the brain, that means someone's in charge of you. Someone is pulling your strings like a little puppy on a string. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be like that. I want to walk the path and take the path that I want to take of least resistance. I don't want to offend anyone or injure anyone or anything like that. I want to give them what they're due. But as time goes by, you'll see it'll be more taxes, bigger fees, just everything you can imagine. If you buy into the slavery, you don't even know you're a slave until it becomes so overwhelming you can't pay all the bills, you can't pay all the fees for the titles and the tags and whatever it is they say you got to pay, down payments for the utilities, like you're going to run away or something. And you gave them your Social Security number, and you have this estate, and it's a whole long story. They can debit that for any kind of money that they want. I talked to a gentleman the other day that his wife had gotten in trouble and went to prison, and he went and looked up her information on her Social Security card and tried to find out who was utilizing her information. It was 3,300 companies was using her information while she's in prison and doing something with her Social Security number and probably monetizing her actions. So that's just unreal when you stop and think about how many companies can actually do that. The higher up government know what's going on, and they're doing it. So just typical people behind the desk at the front counter don't know much, only what they're told, like us. But there's always that person or persons in the back that you rarely see. Or if you go in and ask a lot of questions, that person may appear and they may try to solve it because they're very educated. And they'll track down your problem, or they'll tell you how it works, and they're not even out in the forefront. So the message with this video is for you to at least acknowledge that this is possible, that this slavery position that you're in is possible. So it's a call to wake up. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, but please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up down there, and check out my other videos. My phone number's above or below the videos at the top of the Show More section. So we'll talk to you soon.